You ever watch someone throw away something priceless just because they think the grass is greener somewhere else? That's exactly what happened to me this summer. Her name's Emily. We'd been married for 5 years, and I thought we were rock solid. We weren't flashy, we weren't Instagram perfect, but we had history, trust, and inside jokes that could make us laugh until we cried. At least I thought we did. It started around late spring. Emily began talking a lot about finding herself and wanting to feel young again. She started hanging out with a new group of friends, all single, all posting their weekend adventures online. And then I heard the phrase that should have been my warning sign, hot girl summer. First, I laughed it off. I thought it was harmless fun, girls' nights, maybe some dancing, a few too many margaritas. But something changed. She was staying out later. She'd come home smelling like perfume that wasn't hers. She started dressing different. Then one Friday night, she walked into the living room with her phone in her hand, eyes glowing like she'd just made a life-changing decision. "We need to talk," she said. Those 3 words, I swear, they hit harder than anything else. She told me she loved me, but wasn't in love with me anymore. That she wanted to experience life, while she was still young and attractive. And before I could even wrap my head around it, she said she was moving out that night. I didn't fight. I didn't beg. I just froze. For weeks after she left, my life felt like static. I go to work, come home, stare at the wall. Meanwhile, her social media was blowing up. Photos of rooftop bars, beach trips, and her draped over guys I'd never seen before. Then came the gut punch. A mutual friend, someone who didn't even want to get involved, told me Emily had hooked up with a stranger she met on one of those nights out. Not a date, not someone she'd known before, just a guy who happened to be there, and she didn't even remember his last name the next morning. And that was it. That was the moment any hope of reconciliation died in me. I could have been angry, but instead, I just felt nothing, like she had already been gone long before she walked out the door. But life has a way of circling back, and I didn't know it yet. But Emily's perfect little hot girl summer was about to crash and burn in the ugliest way possible. Emily's posts kept flooding my feed, sun-drenched selfies, late-night parties, cryptic quotes about freedom and finding herself. But behind all that glitz, cracks were starting to show. A few weeks after she left, I heard whispers from mutual friends that things weren't going so great. The guy she hooked up with? Not exactly Prince Charming. In fact, he'd vanished from her life just as fast as he appeared. Then came the texts. Brief, hesitant, dripping with regret. "I made a huge mistake. I miss what we had. Can we talk?" I didn't reply. One evening, I was at a local cafe when she showed up unexpectedly. She looked exhausted, like the glow had been replaced by something darker. "I'm sorry," she said softly. "I thought this summer would be about freedom. Turns out, it was just loneliness." I stared at her, trying to find the woman I once loved in the tired eyes before me. She went on to explain how the parties, the attention, the thrill, it all felt hollow. The strangers she slept with didn't fill the emptiness. They only reminded her of what she lost. But it wasn't just about sex or fun. She admitted she'd been searching for something deeper. A connection, a feeling of being truly seen. And ironically, the very thing she abandoned me for was exactly what I'd always tried to give her. Yet, despite the apology, despite the late-night calls and tearful texts, something inside me had shifted. I realized that trust, once broken like that, isn't easy to rebuild. And some wounds leave scars that no amount of regret can erase. When she asked if there was a chance for us, I told her honestly, maybe someday, but not right now. She nodded, understanding that some things can't be rushed, and that some bridges, once burned, need time to heal. The weeks after that conversation were some of the hardest I've faced. Emily didn't disappear completely. She kept reaching out, trying to bridge the gap that had grown between us. But I stayed firm, knowing I needed time to heal and figure out if forgiveness was even possible. During that time, I focused on myself. I started running again, something I had abandoned years ago. The rhythm of my footsteps became a kind of therapy, each mile helping me shed the weight of betrayal and disappointment. Friends checked in more often, and I found comfort in their support and distractions. One afternoon, I came across an old photo of us, laughing in the rain, soaked and carefree. The memory hit me hard, a painful reminder of what once was and what I might never get back. But then something unexpected happened. Instead of fueling bitterness, that memory sparked something else. A quiet hope. Not for us to go back to what we were, but for me to move forward, stronger, wiser, and more aware of what I truly deserve. Emily reached out one last time, not with tears or pleas, but with a simple message. I hope you find happiness, whatever that looks like. I didn't respond, but I saved it. Maybe because, despite everything, I wished the same for her. The truth is, sometimes people leave to find themselves, only to realize the person they need most is the one they left behind. But that doesn't mean the door has to open again. What matters most is knowing your own worth and protecting your peace. If you're listening to this and going through something similar, remember, being left hurts, but being forgotten hurts even more. Don't let anyone convince you that settling for less is okay. You deserve loyalty, respect, and love that doesn't come with an expiration date. So what about Emily and me? For now, our story is paused, maybe forever. And that's okay, because I'm learning that sometimes the best love story you can have is the one you write for yourself after the heartbreak.